Hi guys, it's Erin. Well, here's my very first process video. I hope this works out for you. I figured I'd make a card with the little guy I colored in my last video, the coloring video. These are the supplies I'm using. This is a scrap of blue 6x6 paper that used to be 12x12, but I cut it down. I want to make a card for one of my friends in my gaming guild. So I'm going to keep it kind of simple and try and stick with a more manly theme since he is a guy. And I have my camera set up a little differently than I did before, so I'm actually standing trying to do this, and it's a little difficult for me since I don't quite know where the boundaries of the camera is, so I don't want to do anything out of camera for you. I didn't really have too much of a thought of what I wanted to do going into this, as far as the design of the card. I thought, these are the base colors that I want to use, and then usually I just kind of let things come to me as I'm doing them. So the more I cut, the more ideas I get for where I want the card to go. So that's my background. That's like the easiest way to do the backgrounds. The card base is actually one I made myself forever ago well, not forever ago, but like last month when I was making Christmas cards. And here I'm just trying to line up my cut. It's weird from this vantage point, like I was saying. I'm trying to move kind of slow so I don't jostle the tripod. The leg of it is actually right in front of my chest where I'm leaning over to make this. So I don't want to knock it and screw up the video. And this is where I realized that my ATG gun has run out of glue, because of course it has. So you see there's no glue, and now there's glue. Yay! The magic of television. I wanted to add brown into this, which is kind of a weird thing for me to matte with. I usually try and go with craft or white, but I thought, considering there were only 3 colors in the stamp, that in the way that I colored them, that it would kind of pick up on his hair, and it would be like the 3rd representation of me using brown was his hair. So you'll see I matte this piece, and then I'm going to matte the camera piece. So there's 3s. I try and do everything in 3s. I know there's like a rule of 3s, but even if it wasn't a rule, I'd kind of do it because it's just the aesthetic that I like. I don't use a ton of glue just because the ATG tends to hold really well, but I am pressing down firmly once I'm finished. So everything ends up stuck on there pretty good. I'm just lining it up, and then I know I want to use this piece, but I don't know how much I want to use of it and in which direction. But then I think, well, maybe I can get the same size piece with the cameras in there, but I thought of cutting them in half, and that didn't work. And I'd already cut along the edges, or along the lines of how the cameras are lined up, so I thought, why not just cut a strip of cameras and see how many I could get onto the card. I'm not used to working in a card that's this small. I sometimes, well, most of the time, make like a 6x6 card, and this is a 4.5 by 5.5. So it's smaller than I'm used to, but it's a lot easier to mail because I actually have envelopes this size. So I'm just matting this again. I probably should have switched to my smaller guillotine trimmer, because I never realized how much space this guy takes up. It's 6x12, but it's really perfect because you have to put almost no pressure to cut, and it really helps for my wrists to not have to, press down really hard and all that stuff. I had a hard time with the Fiskars trimmers, and this one, I've had this for 6 years now, and still going strong. Okay, so I give this guy a little bit of glue, and then I'm trying to decide where to put it, whether it should be in the center or not, and then I want to have something to ground the character against. So I decided to put it up there, but a little off, so you can see the layers. And then I bring in the washi tape. I absolutely love this washi. I think when it runs out, I have to find more, because this is like the best ubiquitous kind of washi tape you can have is the film or camera roll. I mean, how often do we use cameras in our scrapbooking? I can't even tell you how many times I've bought the wood veneers from Studio Calico. So, you know, just cameras all the time are good. So I give him some glue. Normally I give him some glue on his feet, but his head's so big, and I got down his body, so he didn't really need it. And I tried to anchor him along the line of the washi tape and where the washi tape meets the camera paper, so that way he's grounded without actually standing on the ground of the other paper, because I didn't like the look of that. And I wanted to add more blue and a bit more of a boyish theme, so stars are generally done for that. You can see my punch is being a bit obstreperous, but I got it eventually. I couldn't decide where I wanted the star to go. I thought if it went there, it would kind of compete with him. So I thought, oh, maybe I'll put it over here and we'll make a cluster. Now you can see real life trying to screw with me again. Is my when I go to my wet glue, it's actually broken. So I go to reach for it and I open it, and the fabric tip is broken out of it. And I don't have another glue, and the ATG won't fit. You know, it won't do those tiny little stars. So it's like, all right, well, maybe I could just smush the fabric tip on there, and that'll work. See, you can see it came out of the pen. So I'm like, all right, we'll just glue it down on there. Maybe that'll work. So I did end up getting glue on my desk, but it comes right off, so it's okay. And placing those was pretty easy. You just try not to get it on the camera. I don't tend to work with sentiments on my cards. I'm not really a fan of sentiments in general. And you can see I didn't like the placement of this star, so I moved it up again so it forms a line, and you can see those edges where the two pieces of pattern paper that are matted come together. So I think it adds more interest. And there we go. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.